It's going to be hard for him to beat Chris Eubank because Chris Eubank is first bigger, he's faster.
Interview 1. Boxing experts are weighing in on the upcoming match between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, scheduled for April 26, 2025, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. both predict a victory for Eubank Jr., citing his advantage in the middleweight division, while Benn is moving up from welterweight. Fury emphasized that the weight class favors Eubank Jr., and Jones highlighted Eubank Jr.'s experience and recent improvements, suggesting a tough challenge for Benn. The bout, aptly named Fatal Fury, is set for April 26, 2025, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. This event not only showcases the fighter skills, but also continues the legacy of their fathers. The fight was postponed due to Benn's positive test for Chopin. After serving his suspension, Benn has been cleared to fight in the UK again, leading to the rescheduling of this match. Roy Jones Jr. believes Conor Benn has little chance against Chris Eubank Jr. due to Eubank's size, speed, and experience in major fights. Jones, who previously trained Eubank Jr., stated that Benn is at a disadvantage, moving up in weight, while Eubank is naturally bigger and accustomed to high-stakes bouts. Chris is bigger, he's faster, and he's been in bigger fights. Jones explained he doubts Benn can truly overcome these factors, questioning whether Benn has what it takes to beat Eubank with these advantages. Jones firmly picks Eubank Jr. as the likely winner in their upcoming clash.
It's going to be hard for him to beat Chris Eubank because Chris Eubank is first bigger, he's faster, he hits harder, he's had more experience in really big fights. I don't see how you're going to beat Chris Eubank Jr.
Interview 2. Chris Eubank Sen has made a surprising prediction, stating that his son Chris Eubank Jr. will lose to Conor Benn, despite being a legendary fighter himself. Eubank Sr. is deeply concerned about the matchup, believing that Benn is too dangerous for his son at this stage of his career. He highlighted that Eubank Jr. has lost some of his ability to absorb punches, which could be a serious issue against a relentless fighter like Benn. He's too heavy. He's a 168-pound fighter, and now he's fighting a dangerous man in Conor Benn Eubank. Sr. said, "I'm not degrading my son, but I know how dangerous Conor really is." Eubank Sr. has always been outspoken about his son's career choices, and this statement reinforces his past warnings. He has previously expressed concerns about weight cuts and the toll they take on a fighter's durability. Now, with Eubank Jr. having suffered knockout losses in recent years, his father believes Benn could be the one to capitalize on that vulnerability. While many see Eubank Jr. or TH on size as an advantage, his father argues the opposite, emphasizing that experience and power won't matter if his son can't take Benn's punches.
Was a fantastic fighter, is a fantastic fighter, but he's too heavy. Okay, he is a 168-pound fighter. For him to get down to 160 now is too much for him. So Conor would be fighting someone who has lost his punch resistance, which was proven with this Mr. Smith. Again, I don't talk against my son. I'm there to protect him because I know how dangerous this young man is in Conor Benn. I know how dangerous he is. 147 fights, 147. Leave Junior alone.
Interview 3. Anthony Joshua has expressed his excitement for the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight, calling it a massive event that will electrify the boxing world. He believes the matchup will sell out a stadium and showcase the sport at its highest level. This is what boxing is about: big fights, big crowds, and massive energy. Joshua said he emphasized how the rivalry and family legacy add extra intrigue, making it a must-watch. The sport is thriving, and fights like this prove boxing is on a big stage. Joshua is eager to see how both fighters handle the high-stakes pressure.
That is a fight I want to see.
Good fight, isn't it?
For sure, it is a good fight.
Big fight as well, like stadium, packed out.
Are we saying stadium?
I think so. I think it
Think
does.
we'll do well?
Yeah.
Wembley, Tottenham, Cardiff.
Tottenham.
Tottenham, yeah?
60,000.
That'll work out well.
Yeah, I think Wembley might just be pushing it just a little bit.
I think they can do it.
Only a few certain men can do Wembley.
Boxing's on the big stage.
Agreed.
Look at this.
Agreed.
It's amazing.
You've had a nice little break. I saw you out in Nigeria. Do you feel like re-energized, ready to go again?
You know I do.
I know you do.
You know I do.
Yeah.
But more so after my last fight, I took some time out. I let my body heal. which I'm still working on now. And I declined some business opportunities so I can focus on the sport, which takes off mental pressure, not just physical stuff. So I let my body heal physically. And then the mental aspect, I've obviously declined some things that are draining mentally. And I went away with the family, which is always good. And we're back again, ready for...
Interview 4. British middleweight contender Hamza Shiras has expressed confidence in Conor Benn's chances against Chris Eubank Jr. in their upcoming showdown. Shiras, who has shown interest in facing Eubank Jr. himself, believes that Benn's aggressive approach and high-pressure style could be the key to victory. "I think Conor Benn beats Chris Eubank Jr.," Shiras stated in a recent interview. While Eubank Jr. has more experience and a size advantage, Shiras pointed out that these factors may not be enough if Benn can dictate the pace of the fight. Shiras also highlighted concerns about Eubank Jr. Yara's recent performances, suggesting that he may have slowed down and is not as durable as before. He believes that if Benn applies relentless pressure, Eubank Jr. could struggle to keep up with questions surrounding Eubank Jr.'s ability to handle Benn's intensity. Shiras sees a real opportunity for Benn to pull off an upset in this upcoming bout.
And won't get the better of Eubank?
I think Conor Benn beats Eubank, but I kind of need Eubank to win. Do you know what I mean? For myself, from a selfish perspective, I need him to win.
Did you want to fight him?
Yeah, exactly.
Would it be the first defence if you win that, or when you win that WBC title? Is that someone that you would choose?
100%, 100%. As long as obviously everyone's okay with it, it'd be that. I mean, why not? It'd be the biggest fight for me next in boxing, and I haven't got long left in the 160-pound division, so it's not me going on about taking certain defences. It's all about just fighting the big fight.
Sure. And it lines up because obviously your Feb 22, we don't know the exact date, but April 26 is being touted. So if Chris Eubank does win, maybe it does work out as a summer fight.
Yep.
It's a stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be. It could be for sure. And I mean, these hopefully at the Emirates. Do you know what I mean? That'd be a massive dream of mine.
Not White Hart Lane, no.
Nah.
Interview 5. Mark Tibbs shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, emphasizing that weight cuts can often determine the outcome of a fight. He stated that while fights aren't always won and lost on the scales, weight management plays a huge role, and unless someone is inside the training camp, it's difficult to judge how a fighter is handling their cut. Tibbs acknowledged Benn's ferocity, heart, and aggressive style, which have made him an exciting fighter. He pointed out that when Benn has been active, he has looked sharp and dangerous. However, he also recognized Eubank Jr.'s toughness and durability, highlighting that he has always been a hard fighter to break down. Reflecting on Eubank Jr.'s background, Tibbs credited his father Chris Eubank Sr. for shaping him into a strong and disciplined fighter. He recalled how Eubank Jr. was sent to New York for training, where he was conditioned to become physically and mentally tough. Tibbs also praised the way both Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. have influenced their sons' careers, shaping them into fighters who reflect their father's legacies.
It's a special time for myself as a fan in this fight, yeah, for sure.
If you're Conor Benn, what does he have to do to go up 2 weight classes and beat Eubank?
Well, listen, look, fights are won and lost on the scales most of the time. You get me? Not most of the time, but fights are won and lost on the scales. Unless you're in the camp and you're around the camp, it's difficult to make judgments. But listen, Ben's got the ferocity and he's got the art, and the ferocity and art and all of that. He's got and he has looked good. He has looked good of late. When he was active. What's his name? The other guy, Eubanks. For me, he's been a little bit inactive, but he's an hard fucker and all. I'll tell you what. When his old man sent him out to New York, I forget who he was with now.
Interview 6. While he acknowledged that Eubank Jr. has been somewhat inactive compared to Benn, Tibbs still sees this as a great fight and is looking forward to it. He admitted that he personally likes Eubank Jr., even though some people might not, and sees similarities between both fighters and their legendary fathers. Ultimately, Tibbs sees this as an exciting matchup between two well-conditioned, well-trained fighters. While he didn't make a clear prediction, he emphasized that the weight cut and preparation leading up to the fight would be crucial in determining the outcome.
ferocity and art and all of that. It's got, yeah, and he has looked good. He has looked good of late. You know, when he was, when he was active. What's his name? The other guy, Eubanks. For me, he's been a little bit inactive, but he's an hard fucker and all. I'll tell you what, when his old man sent him out to New York, I forget who he was with now, but he was out in New York. You know, his old man's conditioned him. His old man. I like the job that both their fathers have done on their kids. You know, I like Eubank, the way he talks. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off here now, but I like him. I can't say I dislike him. And Ben, and he reminds me of his old man. You know what I mean? He reminds me of his old man. So yeah, great fight, great fight. I'm looking forward to it.
And then just circling back to your gym, what's the latest with everyone else, the likes of John Hedges, Tommy Fletcher, etc.? Yeah,
John Hedges, he's back in the gym. He's looking a lot trimmer now, and I'm hearing there's going to be an announcement soon.
Interview 7. Dave Coldwell discussed the upcoming fight between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn on TalkSport, providing a deep analysis of both fighters, while he acknowledged that Eubank Jr. should theoretically have the advantage due to his size. He also pointed out significant concerns that could favor Benn. One of Coldwell's key points was that Eubank Jr. isn't necessarily great, despite being the bigger man. He argued that while size can be an advantage, it only applies when the bigger fighter is truly elite. In Eubank Jr.'s case, Coldwell felt that he has shown vulnerabilities, particularly in his last fight, where he looked old for the first time in his career. Coldwell also referenced Eubank Jr.'s history of sparring with heavyweights, which his father, Chris Eubank, used to highlight as a sign of toughness. However, Coldwell suggested that such hard sparring takes a toll on a fighter's body over time, potentially shortening their peak years at 35 years old. And still cutting down in weight, Eubank Jr. might now be feeling the effects of all those years in the gym. On the other side, Coldwell acknowledged Benn's speed and aggression. Though he wasn't fully convinced by Benn's power, he pointed out that there was a period in Benn's career where he didn't seem like a massive puncher, followed by a short phase where he suddenly looked devastating, but now he doesn't appear as heavy-handed again. Despite this, he emphasized that Benn's relentless pace and ability to land clean shots could be dangerous, especially if Eubank struggles with the weight cut. While Coldwell hesitated to make a final prediction, he suggested that Benn has a real chance, particularly if Eubank Jr. fatigues late in the fight. He concluded that if Eubank Jr. is not at his best, Benn could capitalize, making this a truly unpredictable and exciting matchup.
I haven't got a favourite. I think the bigger man should win, but the bigger man's he's not great himself. You know, when we talk about a good big and beats a good little one, listen, you've got to remember, Eubank's not great. And in his last fight, I thought he looked old. It's the first time I've looked at him and I thought...
in Riyadh, I agree with you. He got
Gareth, I thought he looked old.
Yeah.
I thought he looked old.
Yeah.
And if age is catching up on you, and listen, don't forget, his father has always banged on about him sparring heavyweights. When they were working together, and he was always talking about he spars heavyweights, he stands there as well. That shortens your lifespan in boxing. That has an effect. And if time has now come onto it, he's 35 years old, he's struggling to make the weight, time comes onto you, you've got again, Benn might not be the biggest, everybody makes that as though he's this huge puncher. He had a portion of his career where he didn't look like a huge puncher. He had a little window where all of a sudden he was a monster.
Interview 8. Chris Eubank Jr., ISS manager, has made a bold prediction stating that Eubank Jr. will destroy Conor Benn when they finally meet in the ring. He believes that Benn is making a huge mistake by moving up in weight and taking on a naturally bigger and more experienced fighter. He also criticized Benn's promoter Eddie Hearn, suggesting that he should do more to protect his fighters instead of pushing them into dangerous matchups. I find it weird Eubank Jr., ISS manager, said he sees a similar scenario playing out for Benn, who has spent his career at welterweight and now faces the challenge of fighting a full-fledged middleweight in Eubank Jr. Despite Benn's confidence, Eubank's team believes that the size, strength, and experience gap will be too much to overcome. Chris is too big, too strong, and too experienced, his manager added. Eddie should be careful with how he matches his fighters because this won't end well for Benny.
They're making this fight on the second day 170 because they want Conor Benn to have a chance. Without it, Chris will rock him up. Like, Chris will finish him. So Eddie Hearn is good at his job. He protects his fighters. So he thought he needs to do something here so where Conor has a bit of a chance. And that would be to tell Eubank, you're not allowed to be more than 10 pounds on the second day, which is even less than the IBF rules. So on the IBF, you can be 172. Yeah. So this is no organisation does this. So obviously it's a tactic of them to try and get that little small advantage on the next day. But listen, Chris agreed to it. For me, I found it weird because the way Conor Benn was gunning for this fight, you'd think it'd be like how Kell Brook was when he fought Golovkin, just go up to middleweight and fight.
Interview. 9 boxing experts have discussed the history between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, acknowledging that their fight would have been even more exciting if it had happened earlier in their careers. Many believe that a younger version of both fighters would have made for more competitive matchup. Early on, many in the boxing world favored Benn, due to his aggressive come-forward style. His relentless pressure and power made him a dangerous opponent for anyone in the welterweight and super welterweight divisions. However, Eubank Jr. has always had the advantage of experience, having fought some of the best fighters in the sport. His toughness and ability to go the distance in big fights set him apart from Benn now. Though some analysts believe that time is no longer on Eubank Jr.'s side at 34, he has been in many wars, and some feel he has slowed down compared to his prime years. While he still has the skills and EXP experience, there are concerns about whether he can handle Benn's explosiveness if this fight had happened. 5 years ago, it would have been a different story, one expert said. But now Benn has a real shot.
This might be my quickest skincare empty in a while, and also my quickest restock. If you ask what's so special about this product, then you clearly haven't seen my previous reel on this product. Anyway, I don't mind doing a recap because I'm so obsessed with this product. Being an oily skin girly, my skin drinks up good lightweight serums, especially if they have niacinamide. And this little bottle, the Lakme Perfect Radiant Serum, is packed with 7% niacinamide that reduces all my post-acne spots super quick and also gives an even-toned look. And yes, obviously because of the lightweight texture, my skin instantly absorbs this without feeling greasy. In the past few months, my skin has only gotten brighter and better because I was super consistent with this, using it twice a day. If you missed out before, then this is a sign to try this ASAP.
Interview 10. The rivalry between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor has been a focal point in boxing, with many questioning whether their animosity is genuine or merely promotional. Former world champion Carl Froh has weighed in, asserting that the tension between the two fighters is authentic, and not just a tactic to sell the fight, which highlighted a particular incident that underscores the genuine nature of their feud. The roots of this rivalry can be traced back to their fathers, Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn, who had a storied rivalry in the 1990s. This legacy has added layers to the current tension between Eubank Jr. and Benn, making their interactions more personal. Frush also pointed out that both fighters have distinct personalities and fighting styles which contribute to their mutual disdain. Eubank Jr.'s confidence and Benn's aggressive approach have led to clashes outside the ring, further intensifying their rivalry. Carl Froh believes that the hostility between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn is genuine, fueled by personal differences, family legacy, and contrasting boxing philosophies. This authentic animosity adds a compelling narrative to their upcoming bout, promising a fight that goes beyond mere competition.
I'm not sure what the genuine beef is with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank. I know they've got the history, like I've mentioned, the father's name. Chris Eubank seems quite chilled and quite happy and smiley, but every time Conor Benn comes into close proximity with Chris Eubank Jr., he turns into a roadman killer, doesn't he? He's got serious beef. Every time he gets in his face, he puts it on him. Says he don't like him, he even hates him. He wants to smash his head in. I'm like, is this just selling the fight, or is this genuine need? And if it is genuine need, what's it for? Is it why you got so much beef? Is it just because of the family name? Conor Benn could do with winning this because he's 28 years old, and moving forward, he's got a potential bright future ahead of him. Chris Eubank Jr. wins this fight. I'm not sure what doors it opens for him or where it takes him at 35 years old, because in my opinion, at this age of your boxing career, then you've only got 2 or 3 years left, especially at this weight.
Interview 11. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.